Have you ever wondered why the rich keep getting richer while the poor seem to struggle endlessly? In today's world, an alarming wealth disparity exists. The richest 1% owns almost half of the world's total wealth, while the poorest half of the global population has to make do with a mere 0.75%. That's a vast chasm between the haves and the have-nots. Now, you might be quick to assume that these wealthy individuals were simply born into their riches, or perhaps struck it big in a lottery. But the reality is far from these common misconceptions. Of the world's 80 wealthiest individuals, only 11 were fortunate enough to inherit their wealth. The majority, 69 to be precise, attained their wealth through hard work and perseverance. So, if it's not just about inheritance or sheer luck, what exactly sets the rich apart from the poor? The fundamental difference between the wealthy and the less fortunate often lies in their way of thinking. When we explore the mentality associated with wealth, we often discover that rich individuals generally cultivate what is termed a growth mindset. This is an ideology that skills and intelligence are not rigid, but can be honed and improved. It's the belief that through hard work, knowledge acquisition, and resilience, one can enhance their abilities and carve out their own journey to success. For example, think of a successful entrepreneur who, in spite of numerous entrepreneurial setbacks, continues to bring forth fresh and innovative ideas. These setbacks are not seen as definitive failures, but as platforms for learning and personal development. Conversely, those who encounter financial difficulties often demonstrate a fixed mindset. This is the perception that skills and intelligence are unalterable characteristics that restrict potential. An individual with a fixed mindset might perceive a drawback as an indication of their inherent abilities, therefore hindering them from making another attempt. Let's say someone starts a business that doesn't flourish as anticipated. They might think, "I'm just not meant for this," and relinquish the initiative, rather than learning from the experience and giving it another shot. This is not to imply that every affluent person possesses a growth mindset, or that every financially challenged individual has a fixed one. Nonetheless, this is a typical trend that arises when we scrutinize the mental philosophies of these two categories. Wealthy individuals tend to perceive potential and opportunities, even in setbacks. They're to sensible risks, to learning, to adjusting. The less fortunate, on the other hand, frequently see constraints and hurdles. They might avoid risks out of fear of failure. It's also important to point out that these mindsets are not necessarily a result of one's financial condition, but rather, they often help shape it. How we perceive our abilities and potential greatly impacts the choices we make, the opportunities we grab, and ultimately, the lives we live. So, it's evident that the mindset is a major factor in wealth accumulation. But what about daily routines? Habits, they say, make or break a man. And this is particularly true when it comes to wealth creation. In the grand scheme of life, the habits of the rich often differ greatly from those of the poor. It's these habits that play a significant role in driving success, shaping one's financial future, and creating the divide between the rich and the poor. Let's start with investing. The wealthy understand the power of making their money work for them. They do not merely save, they invest. They see money not as a means to buy luxury items, but as a tool to generate more wealth. Their focus is on assets, not liabilities. They invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, areas that promise return on investment and financial growth. On the contrary, those with limited means often spend what they earn, leaving little to no room for investment. They see money as a means to immediate gratification, often leading to a cycle of overspending and debt. Another distinguishing habit of the rich is their thirst for knowledge. They recognize that learning is a lifelong journey. They read, attend seminars, listen to podcasts, and continually seek out new information. They understand that knowledge is power, and that staying informed can open doors to opportunities. Conversely, those struggling financially often overlook the importance of continuous learning. They might believe they don't have the time or resources to dedicate to learning, thus missing out on opportunities to improve their financial situation. Networking is another crucial habit of the wealthy. They surround themselves with like-minded individuals, people who inspire, challenge, and motivate them. They understand the importance of building strong relationships and the role these connections can play in opening up opportunities. For those less affluent, networking might not come as naturally. They may not have access to the same networks or understand the potential benefits of such connections. Lastly, the rich are known for their meticulous planning. They set financial goals, create budgets, and plan for their future. They understand the importance of financial discipline and are willing to delay gratification to achieve their long-term goals. On the flip side, those with less wealth often lack financial planning. They might live paycheck to paycheck, with little thought given to future financial security. In essence, it's not just about having money. It's about what you do with it. It's about investing wisely, committing to continuous learning, networking effectively, and planning for the future. The poor, unfortunately, often fall into habits of overspending, minimal learning, and lack of planning. It's evident that habits greatly influence one's financial status. But there's still one more critical difference between the rich and the poor. How one approaches money is another key determinant of wealth. Differing perspectives on money, often ingrained from childhood, can significantly impact the way we handle our finances as adults. The rich and the poor, unsurprisingly, tend to have starkly different outlooks. Let's delve into these contrasting views. Wealthy individuals tend to perceive money as a tool, a means to an end rather than the end itself. They understand that money, when properly managed, can generate more money. That's the magic of compound interest and investments. They're not afraid to put their money to work, to take calculated risks, to invest in opportunities that can multiply their wealth. For them, money is not something to be hoarded, but to be put into circulation for the creation of more wealth. Take a moment to think about this. When a rich person receives a windfall, their first instinct is often to ponder how they can invest this money to grow it further. They might consider investing in stocks, real estate, or even a promising startup. They see this unexpected income not as a chance to splurge, but as an opportunity to expand their wealth. On the flip side, those struggling with finances often view money differently. For them, money is often seen as a scarce resource, something to be spent immediately or saved for a rainy day. They might see that extra bit of cash as an opportunity for immediate gratification, a chance to buy that new gadget they've been eyeing, or to treat themselves to a fancy dinner. For them, money is for spending, not for growing. The difference in these approaches is clear. The wealthy see money as a means to make more money. The poor, unfortunately, often see money as something to be spent as soon as it comes in. These differing perceptions can lead to vastly different financial outcomes. Clearly, the approach to money can greatly affect one's financial outcome. This isn't to say that one's circumstances can't change, or that those with less can't learn to adopt a wealthier mindset. It simply underscores the importance of how we perceive and handle our money. So we've explored the mindset, habits, and approach to money that set the rich apart from the poor. Let's take a moment to recap these fundamental differences and how they contribute to the wealth disparity we see in our world today. Firstly, we delved into the mindset of the rich. They see problems as opportunities, not obstacles. They're not afraid of failure. Instead, they view it as a stepping stone to success. Remember, this mindset isn't exclusive to the wealthy. It's a perspective that anyone can cultivate to overcome challenges and strive for success. Then we examine the habits that differentiate the rich from the poor. The rich invest in themselves. They're lifelong learners, and they understand the power of networking. These habits aren't ingrained at birth. They're cultivated over time, and anyone who's willing to put in the effort can adopt them. Next, we explored the rich's unique approach to money. They see money as a tool, not a goal. They understand the power of investing and the magic of compound interest. They're not just earning money, they're making their money work for them. This approach to money isn't reserved for the super rich. It's a strategy that anyone can learn and apply to their own finances. In essence, wealth isn't just about the amount of money you have in your bank account. It's about the mindset you hold, the habits you follow, and the way you approach money. These differences between the rich and the poor aren't inherent. They can be learned, they can be cultivated. So, if you aspire to move from the poor side of the spectrum towards the rich, start by adjusting your mindset, changing your habits, and rethinking your approach to money. Remember, wealth is not just about the money in your bank account, but also about the mindset in your head and the habits in your everyday life.